So apparently my mic was muted that whole time.
Sorry, dude.
Nope. Oh well, you missed a lot of good stuff. But anyways, yeah. So without further ado, I would like to introduce Deacon.
Ohio.
And it looks like
It's good
the
to see
rest
you
of our
guys.
party will be filing in at some point. But yes, Deacon, good to see you.
Thanks. It's good to see you too, man.
Thank you. So last session, it was you and Stuffin, and we had talked about we found out some stuff. We learned some more things about Kiwako and what is going on in that particular type of situation. We have learned about the host that tethers her to this plane. And
It's an unfortunate chain of tethering. It seems like she's tethered to both the small child and to Saria.
Yes. What I asked you not like what's her name? I forgot. Trixie. Yes. I don't know why I keep forgetting that, but yes, her name is Trixie, and she is the thumbnail for our episode 55.
She's had a hard time.
What's that?
She's had a hard time.
She's had a hard time, yes. And I think we're going to be finding out maybe a little bit more about her possibly in tonight's episode. But yeah, you know what? Let's do our background and get right into it.
Oh yeah. Sorry. So yeah, what we're currently trying to do is we were trying to make our way to the witch, the Fokka witch, as she is best known. We are seeking out her thrall, Andy Belfleur. We met with him. He said we should take a night's rest. So that's what we're doing. Honestly, I feel like it's like at this point, since like Lito's away and Gully's in limbo, it's just Deacon and stuff and taking a little nap in the and like the jewelry store, like stuff and just like hovering there, flying his way, while he sleeps. Deacon is curled up into a tiny little bedroll in the corner, has the little snot bubble coming out of his snout. And I feel like that's really just where we left off. Outside of the chain. We're going to see the witch to hopefully bring the unfortunate Trixie kind of back to a semblance of living, like proper living, instead of what she's got going on now with Kiwako, with the whole weird symbiotic thing. So yeah, we're hoping to save some people, multiple people, hopefully.
Well, fingers crossed. Always the having the best of intentions at heart. We'll see how far we can execute said well thought out plan.
Definitely. You never know when you're gonna fail forward,
right? Exactly. So we will pick up at what did he name? Stuffin's jewelry.
Oh.
That's okay. So we will pick up. Let me get you guys over. I think it's this one. Bam, to Stuffin's jewelry, where
nice.
Everybody or nobody, we're not entirely sure yet, has spent the night.
Exactly.
But nonetheless, Deacon, you assuredly do wake up inside the jewelry store And although there is, evidence of, your party having been there with you, things do seem to have caused them to rush out suddenly with not so much of a note left behind.
So, it's just me?
It is just you.
Okay. Alright. Alright, so I guess I will I think the first thing he does, he puts his bedroll, back in his backpack. And yeah, goes over to the safe, shakes his fist at the safe, mutters, Reginald. And yeah, he's ready for the day.
All right.
That's what else do you really need, right?
Exactly.
So yeah, I guess I will head out into Hyrule Castletown real quick. Yeah, I'll just make my way outside, and see. Yeah, honestly, how do I Sorry. So, honestly, I would like to head straight to the inn because I wanna see if Andy's like having breakfast there.
All right. So, zoom out a bit. All right.
Okay, we got a message from Gully. He'll be here in like 30. He won't be on until 7 p.m. or so.
Okay.
But it sounds like he'll be on, so we got some time.
All right. So Gully will be making his way.
Letting you know.
Appreciate it. All right. Okay. So, okay. So you head into the Hyrule Inn, and
yes.
There it is. Yep. All right, into the Hyrule Inn, where the general sound of morning you have become very accustomed to. The ever so like low murmuring of people having very close together private conversations. Various people, from people who look like they have enjoyed the night prior, to people, sitting down as families, taking in the scenery, and you also, in fact, seem to spot a few adventuring and or traveling troops also present at the Hyrule Inn. But you do not see... Well, okay, you do not see Gully.
Mm-hmm.
But you do see Andy.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Well, I'll I think I'd like to approach Andy, kind of sidle my way over to him. I'm guessing he's at the back in the dark corner,
Yep.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to ruin it.
No, that is absolutely where he is. He
nice.
likes his dark brooding corners.
Understand. I appreciate you, Andy Belfour. I know I like your sense of style. It had to be this way. Anyway, I would like to approach Andy Belfour and just kind of like, yeah, I'll take a nice seat next to him. Well, okay, not literally next to him, like across the table from him. And, it's like just high enough for my snout to reach the top, because I'm not in like the special short people chair like I usually am. So it's like he just sees like half of Dekuden's face just pop up above the table. Ohio.
It's like, I was beginning to think that you had time to change your heart.
Nope. I honestly makes me happy to see her again. Well, she was like he's gonna be fairly candid, or it's like she was very nice to me in a past life. So I hope she's doing well. I actually have something I wanted to give her, but well, that's a secret until we get there.
All right, but might I suggest no sudden movements?
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So is there anywhere you need to go? Any peace you need to make before we head on our way?
Hmm. Hmm. Man, it's a good one. Sorry. I don't know. I don't know what there would be.
Oh, I think he's just saying that to add a certain degree of gravity to the situation. Be like, make your peace now, boy.
And it's working because Deacon is just like, am I gonna have any regrets about this? Yes. All right, let's go.
All right. So let's get you on over. We'll take it over to Hyrule Field. Which I know I still have not updated. But that's okay.
That's okay. So,
you guys like me anyway. I hope.
nostalgic at this point, man. I can't believe it took us like 5 years and like we just never noticed. We just never noticed.
I mean, I didn't notice that this was actually Kakariko Village.
No, that's what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like. Not for 1 second did that trigger in my mind. Even though I know that, like, that's come up before. I just never, ever thought of it, ever.
Right.
I'm kind of amazed. Sorry. Anyway, no, it's kind of... I feel like that's a testament to, like, it feeling authentic. Anyway, sorry, we can talk about that later. Anyway.
All right, so all right.
So
you know what? Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so you come out, to leave the city, and Andy Belfort mounts up on a horse.
Oh, I will mount up on my Chimkin.
Yeah.
This is like standing twice the height of his horse.
All right, so you mount up on this tiny cuckoo, this giant cuckoo, I should say, and
like I imagine she blushes, just like calling her tiny.
And Eddie Belfort kind of looks at you and shrugs his shoulders and goes, "Well, I mean, whatever works, right?"
Do you know? Thank you for your help, Andy. I appreciate it.
Okay, so at this point, you start to embark on what will ultimately be a 3-hour trek.
Okay.
Okay.
Stuffin is there too if he wants to be.
There.
Perfect timing.
We were just leaving. I'm glad you. I'm glad to see you, Stuffin. We passed by you. If you're okay with that, I'm sorry. I don't mean to push that on you.
You passed what by me? You just walked past.
No, I mean like, yeah, like I was just making a joke, like because we were just leaving the city, and
yeah, okay.
Yeah, sorry. Like, basically, the guy we were meeting with to bring us to the witch, is apparently going to lead us to her like overland travel. So we're like out there on the on the wider world map, and then it's gonna be like a 3-hour journey.
Okay. Oh well, 3 hours isn't bad at all.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. But yeah, so Yeah, and then I had an idea I wanted to maybe ask you about.
Mm-hmm.
I think there might be a place where we could like mine or something if you need like stuff, like gems and stuff. Sorry, I should have made
That'd
that
be
more
cool.
clear.
Yeah,
Sorry.
yeah.
So I was just thinking like there's that. It literally just occurred to me when I was talking with Puck this morning. Anyway,
Are we rolling, by the way? Are we broadcasting?
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Hi, everyone.
All right.
Hi.
Everybody, welcome, Stuffin.
Yes, I'm really sorry. I shouldn't have.
No, you're good. And I know I had to leave a few minutes early last time. So I'm not sure if there was a whole lot afterwards.
Okay, so what had happened and where we are now is we had made it back to Kakariko Village, I'm sorry, Hyrule Castle Town. With the intent of finding Andy Belfleur, because we'd learned that he is a thrall for the Fokka Witch, whom the party is attempting to get to. In either having the ability to fix the whole situation with Kiwiko or improve its outcome. The Fokka Witch seems to be the way to go. So we started out the episode with Deacon Awaken, and everyone else has left the jewelry shop. So, so we don't know how long ago you left. We don't know where you went, what you did, but we do know that Deacon went to the Hyrulean, found Andy Belfleur, and secured secured passage to the Fokka Witch.
He's putting us on the package and carrying us to the witch.
Just a giant package.
The witch is going to open us up and we're going to jump out.
Yes.
Birthday cake.
Hell yeah.
And he also advised no sudden movement in the presence of the Fokka Witch.
Right. The deacon is going to jump out, but very slowly.
It's like
a plant growing.
I have my pedal glide on like the slowest setting, so I just kind of like hover at like 1 inch per second, or like 1 inch per 10 seconds.
Alright, so let's see.
Slow motion.
Yeah, so okay, so Stuffin, you see Andy Belfleur and Deacon getting ready. They're all mounted up and they're getting ready to ride out of the town. Andy on his horse and Deacon on Chimkin.
When I see you, Stuffin, I gently pat the spot next to me on Chimkin's back and offer you to rest your wings for a bit.
Yeah. Okay, I could do that.
Nice.
I've always wanted to ride a giant chicken. I mean, that's
It's very fun. She is very gentle and soft. She is like, yes, very soft, both in plush and in being very chunky, because we haven't been making her carry everyone lately, and we've just been teleporting everywhere. So she is
soft.
Getting fat. Yes. Oh, thank you.
I'm all set. Ready for a good old ride.
Ooh, yes. Hell yeah. So yeah. God. Yeah, I think we're ready to ride.
All right. So you start making your way out of Hyrule Castle Town, and you start traveling in an easterly direction, keeping closely to a path until you come to a fork in the road. One is much more well-traveled. The one to the bearing left is much more well-traveled than the one bearing to the right. The one bearing to the right, in fact, even looks as if it's starting to get a little overgrown from lack of usage. And Andy Belfour turns back to you and says, "Which way?"
Well, if I know her, she probably doesn't want to be bothered by people who don't, want, people who, actually probably doesn't want to be bothered in general. But, definitely not by people who, aren't looking for her services, I would imagine.
Andy Belfour kind of holds up his hand to interrupt. He goes, That's just a little bit of thrall humor. I know exactly where we're going."
Oh.
Yeah, I was wondering why you're asking us. Like,
You got me. You got me.
And then he travels down the path to the right.
always take the path less traveled.
Yes. So,
I actually have a whiskey that's named that. But...
ooh.
Anyway, sorry.
So he, the moment that you start to go onto this lesser traveled road, you can see that in the not so far distant, there is just this gaping cliff wall, and the closer you get to it, the more it seems to darken the sky itself. You come to, as you continue to follow, the vegetation seems to kind of be a little bit like brown and withering. There's a lot of fallen trees in this area, and as you're walking through, you can you don't spot anything specific, but you would just swear that you are being followed, and that you get this sensation that something or someone is following you. At this point, you'd be about less than 2 hours. I would say approaching the 2-hour mark of the trek at this point. Is there anything you would like to say or do at this point?
Hey, Deacon, you want to sing a song?
Okay.
Let's hold hands, and we can be like, "We're off to see the witch, the fokka witch of the untrodden path. Hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho, hi ho.
Nailed
Off
it.
to the wonderful witch we go. But which witch? The fokka witch, of course.
Which
Okay.
God, excellent. I will play a jaunty tune to assist in this.
All right. You play. Give me a performance check. Let's bring rolls into tonight's episode.
Can I give him assistance?
Absolutely.
Can I give him advantage on this?
Yes.
Thank you.
What instrument do you pull out to give the assistance?
Honestly, I just want to play it on. Oh, my little
no,
stuff.
Stefan.
I love. Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry.
But okay.
Is a sandwich?
So
kind of instrument?
A what?
Is a sandwich a kind of instrument?
I mean, according to College Humor, a burger can be a razor, but I mean, you know what? If you play it passionately enough, yeah, absolutely. So
let's see. Okay,
Hi,
I have an empty jar that used to have lamb milk in it.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna play that like the drums.
Okay. All right. Got.
I also have a flute, but I'll use the flute as a drumstick.
All right. So Stefan lays down a nice rhythmic beat for.
For some reason, when you picture drumstick, I just imagine Stefan like drumming on it with like a legged turkey.
That's my kind of drumstick. So, all right. Advantage. Deacon, give me your performance check.
Okay. 35. We're jamming.
Jesus Christ. All right. So, Yeah, like I would even,
I got a 19.
um, as you guys play so well, and you start to hear like the rustling of like tiny rhythmic footsteps, and you see these little tiny creatures. They look like bipedal but withered skin. They can't be more than like 6 inches tall, and they're just kind of like like stepping with the rhythm of the song. Um, and they start to like approach you guys, and you look around, and they're starting to surround you even. Both of you, what are your thoughts in this at this point in time?
I ask Andy Belfour if he can sing, and I tell him to sing Dance Macabre.
So as you look to Andy Belfour, he appears to be in somewhat of a panic as he's trying to like shoo these things away. Some things that he is saying during his protest is, "She knows what you're doing. You're going to make her angry. You need to stop."
Oh, okay. I will stop playing.
Oh, okay.
And so as you're getting to like the ending of your song, there begins to be like a parting in the clouds before you stop of where there becomes a break with light.
Mm-hmm.
And you stop playing, and even though it was just for a split second, you could have sworn that you saw a silhouette in the breaking clouds.
Oh. I don't know what that means.
What kind of silhouette?
Tall, curvy, feminine, but like strong, like physically strong.
Is that Gully, do you think? I feel like he's close by. Oh, maybe not quite as curvy as Gully. Wait. Other way around. Sorry.
Huh.
Maybe that's the witch.
Ooh, maybe.
Andy, does that look like the witch to you? Or maybe, oh, wait, it's gone.
And he looks up and he looks concerned. And he's like, we're almost there. It's just up ahead. Okay.
Hey, Andy, serious question here. Like, the witch sounds like a little bit sensitive, maybe a little bit skittish. What sort of advice, other than like don't make sudden movements, do you have for us? Like, are there certain topics of conversation she likes? Does she like talking about like deli sandwiches, or is she not that kind of witch?
She likes to talk about respect and transaction. She's very she has a very goal oriented mentality, and as long as you are respectful of what she is saying, then I'm sure that everything will go fine.
Okay. You got that, Deacon? Goal-oriented, respectful. You think we should bow or shake her hand?
Probably bow. She's more powerful than anyone else I would normally bow to.
Okay. That's cool. I don't know if I've ever met a witch like this before.
Very serious.
Good. Well, Andy, lead the way.
All right. There's an opening just over this hill, and you come to kind of like the edge of the mountain side. Oh, there you go. Wait, why is it? Okay. So I would say that you could. Tough to say, but you would have found yourself kind of anywhere in this general region.
Okay. Cool.
Yes, and you. So he leads you to the cave, or a cave. And he looks. He goes, "Yeah. So you sure you guys want to do this?"
Deacon does look a little pensive. And he just kind of asks, like, "You think we're making a mistake, Andy?"
Well, it depends on what you want and what you need. They say that dealing with her, that that she takes a fair trade in what you're asking. So I guess it depends on what you're asking ultimately, but I've seen people make deals, and I can tell you it is not a 50-50 trade. It is definitely in favor of the house, as they say.
I understand. Thanks, Andy. I like Deacon, kind of takes a moment to think. And he takes like a deep breath and kind of steals himself. Like ultimately he's like, I really want to save this girl, I guess. I don't know why, but
Well, I got no idea, but I trusted Deacon.
thanks, Stuffin. I appreciate it.
Let me just say, Deacon, and he's speaking really loudly when he says this. I want you to know how much I completely respect you and your decision making. You're a good friend and a companion. We always show so much respect for each other, don't we?
Absolutely. I have nothing but respect for you, Stuffin. I reach out for a fist bump.
Fist bump. Yeah, I didn't even realize you had hands to fist bump.
I hope my avatar doesn't exactly show it, but
I think we're like tendrils. I don't
know. I just imagine him having like little hands, like 3 fingers, basically.
I mean, the thing is, in our group, we do not discriminate based on botanical appendages in any way. Everyone is on equal footing, regardless of whether they are squishy flesh or woody pulp.
Fair. Thank you.
Jim, can we respect him too?
Definitely. So, as we so the one thing is, she's going to want us each to pay her a token of respect. I think I have this covered. Can Can I do something with my golden elixir potions, Buck?
What would you like to do?
Give some to Stuffin so he has like an offering.
Okay, absolutely.
Like, do they exist as like a physical thing that I can like, give him like a vial of, or is it like too metaphorical for that?
So since we're not going to have people over encumbering themselves with, potentially tens of thousands of vials of experience potions,
I just kind of oh, sorry.
The way that I will say is that like each person that has level 20 beyond XP golden elixir potions, it is simply a singular magical potion that has the sum total of all excess XP.
Perfect. Appreciate it. Kind of like a decanter of endless experience, but like not endless,
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Perfect. So yeah. I will I'll give you like 10k. I don't think you have to give all of this, but it should be like at least enough to get you in the door.
Okay, that's good.
So yeah.
That works.
Yeah. Yeah. Aside from that, I know what I'm gonna give her, so fingers crossed.
All right. So Andy begins to guide everyone in, noting that Gully is with the party. He is just awestruck by the sight and creepiness of this cave at the moment.
Oh, Gully says he's good to go now, but he needs like an
okay.
update, if you could.
All right. So, okay. So, all right, Gully, last session we did our thing where we chased where we were chasing Kiwiko after the separation had occurred of her and Saria. We got a little bit of backstory pertaining to what Kiwiko actually is. And Kiwiko is a she does not remember her former life. She does not remember her name. All she remembers is that she has woken up as a skull kid lost in the Lost Woods, and through chains of events, to slightly abbreviate the story, ended up turning to cannibalism, and that is what had invited Kiwiko to be a part of her. Now, just for clarification, that has nothing to do with the Saria story. This is the original anchor and tethering of what is keeping Kiwiko. It is this person whose name I'm not going to ask again. I know it.
You want me to tell you?
Wait. Give me like.
Okay.
It begins with the T.
It does.
Trixie. There we go.
Good job. There you go.
I did it. Yeah. And
hell yeah.
So the party has given her the name of Trixie, and now she again knows nothing about her previous life, but we are trying to find a way to satisfactorily have a happy ending for Trixie pertaining to her and Kiwiko, and maybe figure out something with the phylactery. And
can I interject here with what my plan was, just for clarification? So essentially, right, the like Kiwiko, the Wendigo type spirit, is phylactery attached to Saria's like physical heart, right?
Okay.
So essentially, if we kill her, she like alien chest bursts out of Saria, and that's that. So
Gotcha.
So my theory to try to avoid that was to essentially interact with the spirit, which and its host, which we found out is kind of how this came to work. Is that it's less that she has been like permanently, physically metamorphosized or anything, per se, where it's like she's just now attached to a Wendigo spirit, but there's still like a semblance of like person that's like left, and they're like separate entities inside like the same like functional form, basically, but like there's once again a like a possession of sorts. That when we peeled it off, Saria kind of like stayed in its other form. So essentially, my plan anyway was that if we could either restore, right, and if we separate the two, they both die. So my plan was that if we could get them to the point where they can, you know, stand by themselves, like after we separate them, you know, we have a reasonable like bargaining chip type of deal, or at least like a genuine reason to try and have Trixie help us convince, you know, her partner, you know, like in an empathetic kind of way, since they've had the same like, you know, empathetic bond for so long, that she should like sort of like reconsume the phylactery that she left in Saria's heart. Kind of like how we learned that the Lady of the Lake taught us that creatures can kind of like consume their own phylacteries to regain their like mortality, basically. And if we can get her to do that, then we have saved Saria, and yeah, and it feels good. And then we've also saved the little girl that got unlucky in the Lost Woods. So that was the plan. But I know you weren't here. So if you have any like vetoes, I want to offer them to you, like, absolutely, before we like actually get to the point of like no return. Like, if you think it, so my logic was that we should go to the Fokka Witch because she deals in life essence, like, you know, experience and life points and stuff. So I was like, okay, maybe she could like help give them the life energy to stabilize, and then, you know, we could go from there. Was like my general thought. I don't know if that's like something you find particularly distasteful, but like, yeah, we searched out Andy Belfler. I was gonna go to the Fokka Witch. I don't know if you want to like protest or not, because I don't want you to feel like just because you weren't there, your opinion's invalid. Like, I'd love to hear what you have to think.
Nope, that's cool. I'll roll
Okay.
so I can get back up to speed with everything.
Okay, just making sure.
All right, perfect. Okay, so we are at the entrance to the cave of the Fokka Witch. Andy Belfleur is about to.
All right, Gully. No
escort you
sudden
guys
movements.
in. Oh yes, so
Sorry.
and it has been advised twice now that Andy Belfleur very highly suggests no sudden movements around the Fokka Witch. All right. So you start to make your way through.
That's not ominous at all.
It's apparently happened enough that there needs to be, you know, a warning. So you start to make your way through the cave. You know, it's a fairly short trek, but even still, like those little kind of like things that you saw circling around you are still present in the cave, and they don't seem to have any level of aggression towards you, but they seem very interested in your presence.
Are they like the little no faces?
In what capacity?
The way that they look.
Like are you asking if like the little dust bunnies?
Yeah. Like, how do they look? Are they like little humanoid? You said, I think.
I guess I would liken them more to like those withered eels in the original Little Mermaid animated movie.
Googling it. Ah, I see. Yeah.
So
That's spooky. Okay, gotcha. Thank you.
You know what?
Cool.
Those totally weren't evil, by the way. They just worked for an evil person.
Right. Well. Yes, that
I
is
think that's exactly what he's trying to say.
that is how they were in the Little Mermaid. But these things here have also, similarly, they do not seem to be aggressive in any way. But they are like kind of like skittering around you, and they do notice your presence and take a specialized interest to it. But after a short period of time, you come into a large chamber opening in the cave, and like massive vaulted ceilings. In the center of the room, there is a swirling green pool that has a type of rolling rainbow shimmer when any type of potential light source, like a torch, hits it. And you see the Fokka Witch. She is draped over a cane, a very large walking staff. She's dressed head to toe in a thick black cloak that is kind of cinched at the waist with some braided rope. And you can see her beak is really the only thing that pops out from beneath the hood.
Okay.
And as she turns to face you and everyone coming in, Andy Belfleur begins to announce you, and her hand very quickly and sternly goes up to cut him off.
It's I'm looking at the map, and I see a character with long red hair.
Oh, okay. So, okay, I'm gonna.
Although it doesn't quite sound like the description you gave. That's not. I'm assuming that's not the Fokka Witch.
Okay, no. Okay, so when we do travels, I'll actually take a moment to show. I have points to show, like over here. This icon is the start of the trip to Goron Mountain. I have a Zora here indicating Zora's Domain, Kakariko Village. So this right here is just the entryway to Gerudo Valley. The only thing that we haven't noted in that respect on this table is the entrance to Rito Village, which exists in can I get it to ping? Kind of like in this general area in previous campaigns. So when we get to that, characters that have been to Rito Village will have knowledge of kind of the general situation. But yeah, on most maps of Hyrule, it is omitted. But that's all that's I'm noting with that Gerudo icon is just the start to get into Gerudo Valley.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. So yeah, you're kind of like somewhere in this against the wall of where these green lines are. But yeah, so you can kind of, although not see her looking at you, you can feel her gaze upon the party. First thing she says is, which one of you was foolhardy enough to convince the other two to tag along?
I take a couple of steps forward and okay. I don't know whether it's more appropriate to bow or kneel, so
So what do you do?
take a knee. I don't like the post. If you get what I mean.
I think it cut out a little bit. Would you say? Yeah, like a genuflecting kneel.
Sorry, did you hear me?
Are
Sorry.
you talking to me or talking to him?
To him. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think you cut out again, but I think I understand it.
So
Maybe he vanished.
I see his bubble lighting up. I just don't hear what he's saying. Sorry.
Hold on. Yeah, I think all my stuff's okay.
Oh, I think it might have just been one of those momentary outages we have sometimes.
Okay, yeah.
Sorry.
So I'm sorry, I missed what you were saying too.
Oh, I was basically just saying he takes like a bow, like on his knees, and then yeah, like that kind.
Okay.
Like he drops to his knees and then does like a bow, but like stays on his knees. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I get you.
After like taking a couple steps forward, like, and he says, that was me.
Stuffin is gonna bow incredibly low, like to the point where his chin is practically touching the ground, and quite honestly, for someone that looks like he does, he's surprisingly flexible and live.
Nice, that's cool.
Nice.
And he says, "Thank you for seeing us, your most respected witchiness. We are honored by your presence, and of course, your beautiful beak is resonant and righteous in this wonderful sunlight. We have so much respect for you. Thank you."
All right.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yep.
yeah.
And from Gully, you get a simple bow. He looks intently, doesn't say a word.
She looks at Gully just for a moment and I see the next generation is full in bloom, and even with the power of a sage, you still find yourselves before me.
It would seem so.
Oh.
Nice to meet you.
She says, "What do you require?"
Sorry, is she asking specifically Gully or like?
No, the kind of like the party as a whole. Like she's basically asking, like, what could possibly be so important that you have found yourselves here at this point in time?
Gotcha.
Our spokesman, please speak up, Deacon.
Okay, thank you, Key. Deacon is going to look up to her, look at her when he's talking to her. He's like, well, we were at a we've come to an impasse when we were trying to clear out when we were trying to clear out one of the temples, the forest in particular. So sorry. We try really, really hard. But essentially, this one spirit attached to Sage of Forest Temple, Saria, and essentially via phylactery, they've made Saria's heart their phylactery, and we, in turn, they have, now that they're more separated from it due to some things that we did. Essentially, we're trying to get a spirit of hunger from the Lost Woods. Kind of separate from a young, Kokiri that turned into a Skull Kid. Basically, I'm trying to I came to see if we could use your magics to give her some semblance of life back, so that maybe she could stand on her own away from the spirit, and we could convince the spirit to spare Saria the phylactery, the fate of a phylactery. And yeah, but ultimately he he takes a short, like, deep breath to, like, catch his breath as he says this. It's like, ultimately, though, it all boils down to you. If there's anything you want us to do in return, that it happens that we can. However, I haven't forgotten my manners, Miss. You were always good to me in past, in a different life, and I haven't forgotten. Yeah, I'm gonna offer her something that's like a suitable thing of respect, right? Like, so basically my take on this, right, is he's just gonna be, like, perfectly forthcoming with, like, just kind of like, this is how, like, serious I am, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, not just about this task, but about, actually paying respect and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So, I offer her,
Your left hand.
right? No,
No left.
so, okay.
You're gonna
Yeah,
offer her your hand in marriage?
right. True.
That would be awesome. Like, how much would having a witch as your partner help the whole party?
That would be awesome. Anyway, I'm offering her 2 max HP. I am serious about this.
Okay, so you've piqued her interest with the promise of.
And I'm talking, like, yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I'm talking that unfiltered shit. That good. Sorry. I shouldn't talk like that. It doesn't seem like this.
It's just. But you're asking. You're asking much. And there's much that you don't understand about what you ask.
I guess you're right.
He's
There is
gone.
a lot I don't understand.
Says, for example, and since I believe you to be telling the truth about our past, I will give you this one freebie. But it is my recommendation that research comes before actions. And I will say this, and this one thing only, for no cost. That little girl is not a little Kokiri girl. So, if you would like to take action now, we can continue our bargain. Or maybe there's something else.
Deacon looks gutted. Like, I have been played like a fiddle, haven't I?
That has yet to be seen.
Fair enough.
Puck went out for a second for me.
Oh, sorry.
I heard him say that she wasn't a Kokiri girl, is what I heard, right?
Yes.
Was there more beyond that about what she might be? Okay.
That was your one thing that she was going to give you.
Okay.
I thank her for that, and kind of like 1,000-yard stare for a minute. So I like reconsider, like, maybe my reasons for doing this are bad.
Don't we want to know more about what she is as opposed to what she isn't? Like, you're not a little Kokiri girl. But, something happened to you, I'd help you.
I guess that's true. But it's more like... It's less about her not being a little Kokiri girl and more about, like, shit, we've been lied to.
Well, I mean, Lido can change shapes to look like other things, right? Doesn't mean that, some people do that because they're worried about how the world sees them. I mean, some people are just trying to lie. But some people are have personal concerns, right? We need to be respectful to everybody and try to learn more about their own motivations.
I guess I can't argue with that. Yeah, true enough. I guess what I would just kind of come to is like, Deacon would probably appreciate more information, but he has no idea what he could give her that would pique her interest for that in return. Like, do you want like, I have essence banked that I could pay you for more information if you want.
Can I offer something up here? Like, we could really use some more information. And you seem, quite honestly, like one of the most interesting people I've met in a while. So would you be willing to perhaps make an exchange where you give us some information, and in return, I would love to take you out for a romantic evening sometime. I understand that you don't like surprises, and perhaps, music is not on your list of preferred activities, but I would be happy to talk to you and or Andy for suggestions on a place that you might enjoy for dining and entertainment. We can go to Hyrule Town, or we could do a picnic.
So,
Is
this you laughing at me, or is this Puck laughing?
This is
the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Yes, but this is Puck.
This is gold. This is literally gold.
Yeah. So, like, her neck kind of like cricks and contorts, and she says, "Would you?"
Sorry, Puck, you cut out again.
Puck. Her neck cricking contorted.
Okay, sorry. So she goes, what exactly would you like to know?
Well, I think that's an excellent question.
That is a really good question.
Deacon and Gully, what do you think? I certainly would like to know more, not about what she isn't, but what about she is, maybe?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, what can you tell us about her? What is she?
Yeah, can we I guess what we should say is who was the person we know as Trixie before they became a Skull Kid?
Oh, she was a fiery one. She was a bargain to be made. You see, I was approached by an old acquaintance of yours, and they had a very generous offer. You see, I see things, and I hear things, and I am well aware of why you are here and what you want and what anybody and everybody wants. But what this little girl is a bargain made by me that will not be undone.
Wow.
She starts to kind of like, she waves her hand, and you can see like in the pool, it kind of opens up, and you can see the girl. You can see Trixie. And, as I said before, she is very tattered looking. You notice now that the darkness of her hair is simply like caked in dirt, almost to the point of like there being like thick strands of just like mud caked hair. And you notice that her skin has a bit of orange tint to it. And then the witch cleans her hair in the vision. And it is a deep, bright, reddish orange color. The woman stands tall. You get visions of her in a Gerudo battle taking place a while back in Hyrule Field. And she has kind of like the staff in hand as she is hurling projectiles at the other side. And then as she's doing this, you get a vision of another Gerudo that looks very similar to her, doing very similar things, very magically inclined still. And she cuts it. She goes, that little girl is not a little girl. That little girl is my payment. I don't care what she has done. She's only made things worse for herself with things that she's done anyway. So she did some things in a temple, so, she had to make some hard decisions. I needed to toughen her up a little bit. Getting a good servant takes time and dedication and commitment.
I'm sorry, I'm a little confused here. I mean, you said she's your payment, but like, who supposedly gave her to you? And like, doesn't she deserve a life of her own choosing? Like, maybe she's not who we thought she was, but that doesn't mean that she's not worth saving and caring for. I mean, to me, that's all about respect, right?
Respect. I wouldn't deal in things like respect. And if somebody wants to offer up a trade, who am I to refuse? It's what I've do. It's what I've done. They got all of their power, and I got everything that was left.
So if she's a betrayed, does that mean she betrayed someone?
Maybe. I mean, generally people don't offer other people as bait unless they're pretty crummy people.
Oh, see, I mean, when I go to the store and I want to get some fruit or vegetables or something to cook up, like I want to know where it comes from. I want to look at it and say, "Oh, this looks like the freshest fruit." When I get jewelry like diamonds, I want to put into a ring or something. I want to know where those diamonds come from. I want to know that that's a real thing. But it sounds like you don't know a whole lot about her. Like you're planning on using her without knowing where she came from, a whole lot about her. You're just trying to like, I don't know. It's like you're trying to brine the pork before you cook it without knowing where the pork came from or if it's good pork or bad pork.
She goes, rest assured, it is good pork. And as for the brine that came off of the pork, I think, in this analogy, that brine is still out there, and I'm sure it will make its way to me someday.
I think you stretched the metaphor a little further than I understand.
So you're just like visibly despondent. So like he just kind of looks up and he's like, so was what happens to Saria part of the plan or just a coincidence?
No, sorry, it was simply a victim of circumstance. Had she not been so darn tasty, then she wouldn't have found herself in the state of being our friend's little snack. I mean, lucky for her, she's a sage, because not many others besides sages can hold out for as long as she did. But I'm sure she's fine doing something. Honestly, some little kid sage who couldn't hold down their own temple is of little concern to me. Shall I call our friend here?
Excuse us for just a second.
Huh?
Can we consult? We'd like to talk with each other. We just want to huddle up, is what it's called, and have a brief conversation. Maybe you and Andy could. Do you know what would be lovely? Could you get us like, or Andy could get us like some tea or something like that? Is that imposing?
Give, give me a persuasion check on that.
Can I give him inspiration?
Yes.
Because that deserves some inspiration. That's pretty fucking. That's I like that.
Yeah, I gotta warn you, my persuasion is not good.
Let's hope.
The first one was a 7 plus 0 is 7, and the second one was a natural 1. I'm gonna take the 7.
Okay. All right. And then we have inspiration from Deacon.
Actually, oh, okay. Let's see.
You
Oh,
have
a
a
natural
D12.
10. Oh, wait. Oh,
Nice.
sorry. A D12? Okay.
Yeah. No, take the 10.
So that's
Sorry,
a 16
I was just joking.
total.
All right.
Okay. He starts to kind of like walk away, without being instructed or anything by the fokka witch. And she kind of like clears her throat. She's like, and he looks back at her. It's like, I don't know. And he kind of like, and he walks away in search of tea.
Cool.
Thank you.
She just throws her hands up. She's like, well, that's the last we're going to see him tonight. It's like, I'll tell you. He's a strong boy. Built real sturdy, but she like taps her. She's like, not a lot going on up there
I'm a
sometimes.
Okay.
Come here, let's form a huddle.
All right, huddling up.
Okay.
What do you think? I'm
a horrible rube.
No, you're not.
I've been taken for a ride. They played me like a damn fiddle.
You mean that someone who's been like imprisoned and made to be a servant, who's desperate to get out of a bad situation, maybe said something that was dishonest to try to get out of a bad situation, and you're going to hold yourself accountable for trying to be a helpful person or helpful plant? The plants count as people. I'm confused. Okay. Because the witch feels like she belongs to her.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So now I'm feeling really uncomfortable about this date that I promised her.
True.
Like, but what can we do? We could get the witch to agree to let her go.
You go on the date, and we take her with us.
I can do that. I'm charming, but I'm not like.
Sorry. This is like oh man, I want to see this ship, honestly. No, but I kind of nervous now. I know that if she wants anything, after she's put up this much of kind of a fuss about keeping things the way they are, she's gonna want something really bad, and I don't know what that is. This seems like we're kind of like really being warned to not make the Faustian bargain at like every possible turn. And I'm kind of scared of ignoring it now. I didn't expect this to be like personal to the witch. As yeah.
There are things.
Yeah. So I have no idea what to do in the slightest anymore.
All right, so give me an insight check.
Okay. This will be interesting. All right. 6.
When in doubt, beat the information out of them.
Oh god.
No,
All
just
right,
kidding.
Gully, give me intimidation.
No, just kidding.
All right. So the thing that one of the vibes you're picking up on a 6 is she is being very meticulous with her words, and one of the gives that you get with that is the only one in this whole equation that she cares about is nope, gotta get it. I gotta get it. Precious. No, Trixie.
Trixie, yes. Good job. Good job.
I keep thinking of Gollum, like that's Trixie's.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
So like Precious. No, Trixie's.
Nice.
Yeah, so the only one that she seems to care about is Trixie, and she is also not intentionally being, she's not trying to withhold information, she just hasn't received a tantalizing thing for it, a tantalizing price for it, mainly because more so you are not being very specific with the questions.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I say Stuffing offers up a hero's kiss.
Oh, I don't know if this is a beak anyone wants to be kissing. Here's Feast. But anyway, yeah, so God, I wish I could tell you more, but like with this all right, yeah. I can't say much more on this. So
That's okay.
if you have like a question, I can kind of like guide you in okay, so
I guess my curiosity then is if she fought next to other Gerudo, I'm just curious if she was in the Ganon.
Did she fight alongside Ganon?
Well, no, like because we saw the she was fighting alongside the the Gerudo soldiers against what I mean when you said that you imply like it sounded like you were implying she was behind one of those like fireball hits a tree type events out in Hyrule Field. I don't know if that's not what you were trying to do.
It was kind of that type of event, but this particular one was on a much larger scale.
Gotcha.
It was on a larger scale, and honestly, it was a combination of Hylians and Gerudo that they were fighting.
Ah, okay. Huh. Gotcha. So this is some more Civil War type stuff. Okay.
Yes, and I will say that the number of Gerudo that are seen fighting alongside Hylians very vastly pales in comparison to the amount of Gerudo that are fighting on the other side.
Okay.
Does red hair and orange skin or orange tinge skin like match with what Gerudo look like?
Absolutely.
Remember.
Okay. And I will say that they're upon looking, into the well or into the water, at least Deacon, there's something familiar there.
Shit, did she have the anklet?
No.
Oh, damn. So she's a Gerudo, like, okay, it's like, So, I mean, the thing is, right, like, I literally have, like, Ganon's uniform, like, Gerudo patches in my inventory. So, like, I know what they look like, and I, like, take them out and just, like, mentally compare them to the outfits.
Yep.
So I can, like...
The outfit has, definitely has, Ganon's faithful iconography on it.
As in, her outfit does?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Oh.
Huh. Well. So Deacon kind of points that out. As he's, like, tangled with this sort of thing in the past. And he just kind of shrugs, and he says, I guess it just depends how much sympathy or what you want to do for someone who is fighting for Ganon, I guess. I do feel bad. I don't want to do this, but maybe I've just been looking too deeply for something that's just not there.
And I would like to point out at this point, given the vision and given how you see her as a little girl, you are realizing that the physical appearance of her as a little girl is because that much energy and essence has been taken out of her. By no means is she a little girl, but in fact, you know what? I will go as far as to say everything has been taken out of her. Like, she has absolutely zero life essence inside of her. And Huiko has abundance in life essence, but has no physical form.
Oh, shit.
Yes.
Well, all right.
So what does it mean if you
I've
have
been
no
conned.
life essence?
Wait, what was that?
If you've got no life essence, does that mean that you're like, I don't know, irredeemable is a wrong word. You're revivable? Can she be in some way saved as far as we know? Is that within the witch's power? I mean, you assume the...
There absolutely would be.
Mhm.
In fact, depending on how I'm going to answer it, is this a question that you actually ask the witch, or is this something you're just curious about? Not in game.
No, I'll ask the witch.
Okay. So she
I'll go over to me like, okay, huddle's done. Hey,
okay.
can she be saved? Yeah. I'll ask that question.
All right. So you ask the question, and she chuckles to herself, and she says, I was waiting which one of you was going to actually ask this question. I was starting to lose hope, and quite honestly, for this, I will ask that you undo the bargain that has been dealt. And the essence that is gained from that will count as recompense.
I don't know if it's in my power to do that bargain, because that bargain might not just involve me, it might involve the other people too. And I'm the one asking the question. But go ahead and tell me the bargain.
She like reaches out to you as if like an old lady kind of like grabs your face from under the chin. She reaches out from you, nowhere physically near you, is she? But as her hand extends, you see that a hand extends in the reflecting pool of Trixie, and she's, as she mimes it, she's actually grabbing Trixie under the chin, and she says, her sister took everything from her and left her in this sad, depleted state, begging, clinging desperately to life. So to make things right with the world, all you need to do
is love, right? All you need is love.
Is fetch me her essence.
So you're suggesting that we can save this one person who's got no essence by giving you the sister's essence, which is like a lot more essence. And it seems to me like that's a pretty big ask on your part. I mean, you're like saying, I have something that's worth $0 and I'm willing to exchange it for something that might be worse. But honestly, like I've already presented this thing worth $0 not being all that great and being deceptive to you. But you can get it back in exchange for this really, really valuable thing. Is that an apt metaphor, would you say?
I suppose some people might think of it that way. However, I have no vested interest in that which concerns you. I have an interest in her sister. You see.
Oh, so what you're telling me is not only do you have something that's not valuable to you, you're telling me that you don't even care about it. You're just using it as a bargaining chip to get something else. I think you're weakening your argument, is what I'm trying to say.
I think you're beginning to understand how things work. You see, and she puts out her hand, and as she turns her palm up, a small, flickering green flame appears in her palm. And she holds up her other hand, and another similar green flame pops up, and she says, you see, this. And then she takes one and she puts it on the other, increasing the second flame and eliminating the first one. And now she says, which one would you prefer?
This is terrible. Do you guys care if I do something terrible?
Go for it.
He's going to look, and all of a sudden, he says a couple magic words, and he's going to go, boo! And there's going to be like a giant illusion of like this dragon like spewing flames at this woman, apparently, who doesn't like to be startled. He's just curious to see what happens, quite honestly. So I'm going to cast a major illusion and try to startle her and see what happens.
We're going to hell.
I'm sorry.
No. That's funny. It's funny. Honestly, man, I don't know what to do. I've never been so like I have nothing in the history of me playing this campaign.
Alright. So, now I have to make a character sheet for this character. Thank you, Seven. Yeah. So this this dragon gets comes out of nowhere. And I would say like because of like the space of the cave, we don't get like a view of a full-size dragon, but like this like black smoke kind of starts to encompass the room, and for really like sticks back to the wall, and outside of this black smoke you can see the jaws that come out and the claws come out, and just like sections of this dragon. as it creates the illusion of, I'm going to say, like a portal opening and a dragon trying to come through. She seems unfazed.
Can I fall backwards onto my butt out of like terror?
Absolutely.
Like you just hear like like when it's over, you can just like squeak. It was not expecting that.
This is... That was mildly rude. So, let's see what we have. Let's start off with simple things, and we will simply go with the essence that I require. Okay.
Who's her sister?
Question 1 is, who is her sister? Bold that you didn't, for the first question, want to know her real name, but her sister. I would say the identity of her sister, which you will, if you decide to go and retrieve her, I suppose it would be good to know her real name. Her sister's name is Kome.
Oh, what? Oh, fuck. No. Oh, fuck.
Oh,
Is that Deacon saying that?
Yes.
I slipped that without even putting a
You
price
literally just like fuck. Like just like you didn't know this, but like apparently blood can drain out of the face of someone made of wood. Like just I don't know how, like the red leaves just go white. There's like all chlorophyll is gone.
Yeah.
She fucking beat Byrova's ass.
Not-
Wow.
Not Byrova.
Well, Katagi.
Yeah. She
Holy
betrayed her
shit.
sister. So, what we're dealing with right now is hearing that that her sister who betrayed her name is Kome. In the absence of Ganon, as long as the Gerudo Fortress is being held by Ganon's faithful, it is run by the two Gerudo witches that raised Ganondorf, their names being Kome and Getage. These witches also have the ability to combine, essentially fusion dance their way into another character that in the game is called Twin Rova, but historically in this campaign has been called Byrova. So this is the realization that we are starting to unfurl right now, is the child that was in Kakariko Village. I'm sorry, not Kakariko Village. The child that was lost in the Lost Woods that got saddled up with Kiwiko, that fed on the Forest Temple Sage Saria, the person that could not remember their name and still cannot remember their name, is none other than Katage, the other half of the Gerudo witches.
Holy shit, dude.
Wait, I missed that. Are you saying Trixie is Kataga?
Yes.
Yeah, Trixie is one half of like the most evil character in this game.
Yes.
Oh, so Trixie is a half
Well,
Kataga.
no.
The
She's like wholly Katagi, but like Katagi and is half of Byrova, if that makes sense.
oh,
Like,
okay.
It's like it's two sisters, Kome and Katagi. Well, but like yeah, like they basically like spend a lot of time as one entity when they're working under Ganon.
It's like a coven that got a little too, I don't know, close, and like sometimes exists as one entity and sometimes exists as two?
Kinda, yeah, basically. Yeah. It's a 2-woman hag coven, basically. That, yeah, it can, like, kind of do the hive mind thing and, like, function as one entity.
Yeah.
Fuck,
So,
man.
here, I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna try to put it up. Hold on.
So
What
how
makes me
is
feel
this?
worse is I still feel kind of bad for him.
Yeah. So
I guess the question is.
mhm.
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
So the thing is now is we have this character who has no idea who or what they actually are. And you now know that they are one half of the evil Garuda witches. What do you do with this situation? I mean,
And the other
she's
half is Kome, right?
yeah. What I honestly get them confused. The blue one's Kome and the red one is Kutage. Yeah. So the one that you have is the one that with the fiery hair.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
My heart is so torn between we need to leave them in there for the greater good of society versus, like, we need to help her and, like, convert her to the side of good. If that's at all possible.
I think we need to talk to, you know what? I mean, Fokka Witch, you have been most helpful. I'm starting to realize that we are never going to get our tea from Andy. And in fact, Andy is not a very good helper because even though he brought us to you, he does not seem to understand you all that well. He offered us bits of advice that don't seem to make any sense. But having said that, I do think he has a good heart, so you shouldn't fire him. But maybe next time we'll come to you directly instead of going through Andy. But I also think we need to talk to Trixie and see what Trixie thinks. I mean, what do you think, Golly and Deacon? Does that seem to make sense to you?
I guess the thing is, right? Like, if we, like, solve her problem and she, like, goes back to being evil, like, I'm gonna feel so stupid.
Yes. But in your defense, I don't know if that's the right way. You're gonna find some way to feel stupid anyway, Deacon. And
That's
you're not
true.
stupid.
That is me.
Like, maybe we should talk to someone in Hyrule Town to, like, help you a little bit. You're not stupid at all.
Thank
You
you.
are just a plant like every other plant, and not dissimilar to people like myself, humanoids, and we're all humanoids. We all have at least 3 fingers.
Thank you, Stuffin.
You're
Man,
gonna be okay.
I think Deacon feels like she kind of deserves a chance. I guess I know you're emphasizing that we shouldn't give her a chance, Puck. I know that.
I'm not saying no.
I'm trying to play the character, okay?
I'm showing everybody what these lovely ladies look like. When they're
Who's
not
Puck?
sucking the life out of the other sister.
Who's Puck?
What?
The DM.
Hey.
Oh. We don't even know what they look like. They're just wearing masks.
Yeah, if only. I think all parties involved wish that was true.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway.
I'm kind of curious to maybe go back to that library that is, like, impossible to find and you have to, like, walk like a crab.
That would be interesting.
Look up witches and whether they can be redeemed in some way. I have to imagine Trixie would prefer to be, like, back to reality. But, like, if we could convince her to be, like, hey, can we make some difficult decisions before you do that?
Yeah. Can I ask the fokka witch if she knows? Like, okay, can I ask the fokka witch? Of course she knows, so I'm not gonna include that. I'm just gonna ask her. Why did Kome betray her sister to this fate?
She says, for power. Why does anybody do anything?
He has
Not
like
just for power.
He has like equations floating around his head.
She goes, surely you all cannot be that gullible. You look at people meandering in the streets, and you look at nobility in their high castles and throne rooms, and they all want the same thing. They all want more than they have. And how can you have more without giving someone else less?
Oh.
I mean, I've heard this about wizards before. Like, they want power, blah, blah, blah. They try to become a lich, they become a lich, and you're actually kind of imprisoned by the power that you get, and you lose your life, and you become undead, and you lose your personality, and you become like a raving maniac, and then all of a sudden you become really possessive of your phylactery because, God forbid something happens to that. Like, power has trade-offs. The more power you have, the more compromises you make. All of a sudden, you're in debt to like a coven of hags, or maybe like a red dragon has some, I don't know, bribery stuff on you, blackmail. Um, you haven't heard about this?
She goes, no, believe it or not, I don't get out much.
Oh. Well, I mean, I offered to take you out, and then...
Like with a bow?
I have a question. Oh, I offered to take you on a date.
How about a bow?
You want me to shoot you with a bow? Like Cupid's bow? Like, I don't know you well enough. I'm not gonna do magic love spells on you yet. And that's manipulative. Or do you mean like a violin bow? Andy said you didn't like music, but he's wrong about everything. So I could play some. We could get a violin bow and a violin.
How about questions? Let's.
Oh, okay. Here's my question. Do you think that a witch like Kataga can be redeemed if she really wants to?
I think anybody can be redeemed if they want to. I mean, I didn't take away Katagi's memory. I have no use for that.
Okay. Well, Deacon, I've made up my mind.
Well,
we need to. I think we need to go to Trixie. But what do you think?
Well, I mean, honestly, I think I agree with you.
Fokka Witch. Do you have a first name, or do we just call you Fokka?
Well, my name can be a little bit difficult to pronounce without a beak. So, I suppose you could just call me Pam for short. Or Pearl. I'm
Okay.
sorry, Pearl.
Pearl, okay. Um, can you tell us your name just for fun?
And she starts off with sounds like the beginning pronunciation of Pearl, and then proceeds to go into a number of high-pitched squawks, with some like deep-breasted like crows to like in the middle of it, kind of mixed in, and then she ends with Earl.
Nice.
And for some strange reason, Gully repeats it exactly.
I love it.
Ooh.
I love it.
She looks at she cracks a smile. That catches her off guard, and you get a nice reassuring nod, and she puts out her hand to shake your head. She's like, "That was a good one. What do you do?"
Well, he'll shake her hand. He'll return the food. Yeah,
All right.
I'll leave her hanging.
All right, so as you pull away, you feel like a sharp thorn pierce into your skin, and you look back, and there is a piece of parchment, folded parchment, now in your hand, with a small bit of your blood that is like smeared across the wax seal of it.
Interesting.
She warns you, and she says, "Only open if you truly want to know. But if you open, we have struck a bargain, and you will bring me the essence of Kome."
Oh, there you go, Deacon.
All right, if that transaction is not heard, it is relayed.
All right. Does that mean we can hang on to it for now?
Yeah. It
Okay.
is a potential bargain that, if struck, can be done at the time of your choosing. And
Okay.
and the bargain as it's struck states that if you are to bring the essence of Kome to the Fokka Witch, in payment, she will free up Kotage from her service.
So,
Does
Can
this
I ask-
include
oh, sorry.
does this include like giving her a physical body and like a way to survive if she has no essence, or giving her essence back or something?
Well, she has a body but no essence. Like she
Yeah.
is in terms of that, she is basically like an empty husk. So right now, what is filling the part of her that would sustain her life is Kiwako, because Kiwako does not have
Yeah,
the
okay.
ability to have a physical body, so therefore Kiwako needs to anchor herself to Trixie.
Yeah, I guess my question was, if we bring her the essence of Kome, is she going to put any of Kome's essence back into Trixie so Trixie can sort of survive without Kiwako?
Those specificities were not discussed.
Okay.
All that was guaranteed from what was verbalized, which is how it is like materialized, is she will bring Trixie back to life,
Okay.
which would sever, which would also sever Kiwiko's ties to Trixie.
And where would that leave Kiwiko?
Yeah, like, so I guess the grand question that I have in this is, like, what does that imply for Saria's phylactery? If we do all this for, Chitagi, like, is Saria still fucked? Or, like, does this deal with the spirit?
I mean, honestly, you guys kind of, like, bolted away from Saria and didn't do a whole lot of checking on her. But
that's true. Yeah.
From what
I don't know.
I think she's still in the temple.
She would be like, oh man, that's fun.
You brought her through the barrier and left her.
True. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That one, isn't it? Anyway, but still, like, I don't know. I don't want to kill her, like, that was why I was doing all this in the first place. It's really, like, in the end, it was kind of less about Trixie, now Katage, than it was about, like, getting a bargaining chip for Saria's heart. So, I'm, having a bad feeling about this.
Well, is that something that you would... Ooh, okay. So, okay. Putting it this way, that is not something that has been addressed to Pearl.
Yeah.
So, do we want to work that into the conversation?
Yeah, is there any way I can ask, like, so, if this is going to, like, help Saria at all? Like, I guess I'll explain it kind of like I did to you, where it's like, my end goal in all this was, it's really just about having, like, a reasonable, like, good faith, to get Saria back to, like, being able to exist as a sage. Okay.
So just to, like, recap and, like, put all this on the table, because we're dealing with a couple different things.
Sorry.
No, but by no means, no. You're good. Okay, so we have back during the Forest Temple, we found out that Saria's heart was the phylactery for Kiwiko. Saria's heart currently used to reside in the tree that was getting corrupted, but ultimately was able to make its way back to Saria. Saria is in possession of Saria's heart, and she is okay and healthy, to an extent. She is in no physical danger. But that action caused the passing of Rico, and that's all we're going to say about Rico in this particular equation, because that's the end of the Rico story. But yeah, so now we have, as of last session going into this session, we have Kiwiko and Trixie. Trixie is, unbeknownst to her, the witch Katage, who was betrayed by her sister, essentially for the purposes of gaining power. So she took her sister's own powers and abilities and used the fokka witch to steal them for herself. So now we have Trixie, or Katage, as a husk that is being inhabited by the spirit of Kiwiko, which is a skidwalker, which is the thing that both physically and spiritually sustains and anchors her to this plane of existence. It is both her spiritual driving force, as well as that which drives her to consume the necessary energy. Yeah. So, okay, did I leave anything out?
I don't think so. I guess, so, assuming we do this, we still have to convince Kiwiko to separate from Saria as, like, a completely separate endeavor.
So Kiwiko
is what I'm trying to clarify.
Okay, so Kiwiko can be convinced to release Saria's heart as her phylactery. It is not an easy task, but it is absolutely possible.
Okay. I guess this was more. Yeah, that's all. That's all I really needed to know. I guess. Sorry,
Okay, gotcha. All right.
I didn't mean to cut you off or anything. Sorry.
Nope, you good. All right, so, okay, we are still at the Fokka Witch. Questions, bargains.
Huh.
I just want to thank you so much for your time,
Mm,
Pearl. And I'm gonna leave you with my business card, the man of honor. If you ever want to get out and see some other part of the countryside, or visit a city, Hyrule Town, or you know, go to Lon Lon Ranch and hang out with some cows or something like that, um, give me a call, okay? Uh, Ellie,
Okay.
and are you good to go? I'm sorry, I didn't ask you before.
Yeah. I'm good.
Okay.
I think we will be in touch again, right?
Yeah, definitely. I have so much thinking I have to do about this. I think I don't even know how I feel. I'm so conflicted.
This is a big deviation from original play.
Definitely.
So, all right. So I would say at this point, you start to make your way outside of the cave. As you
Like, I
come,
want to believe. Sorry.
well,
Sorry. Ignore me. Sorry.
as you come out, you see Eddie Belfleur on his hands and knees with just fistfuls of grass, and he's like, "Hold on, I almost got enough for the tea."
Grass. It
Uh,
needs to
uh,
be dried before it.
tea leaves. Uh.
Yeah, but they need to be like dried. Don't you know about making tea? You dry the leaves and then you put the dry leaves into water, hot water.
Yeah. See, tea is wet,
Andy?
and you need to put the
Yeah.
leaves in the wet water to make the tea. So it's got to be wet.
Hey, Andy, what's your full name?
Andrew.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Belf.
She hussed Andy Belfleur. Oh, okay.
he and he's like, as he's answering the question, he's like very sneakily like pulling back the sleeve of his shirt. So he's like, Andy Bartholomew Belfort, 328 Wallaby Way in Sydney. Yeah,
Okay.
that's my name.
See, I heard your name and I immediately thought that you were from a different movie, and that you maybe escaped from Shawshank Prison. Um,
No, I'm
it
a
just
prison.
reminded me of someone,
I was a guard.
Andy Dufresne, as opposed to Andy. Oh, okay.
No Dufresne.
Okay. Andy, it's been a pleasure. The next time we come back, we would love if you had those tea leaves ready for us, and then we can have some tea.
What do you mean? We're going.
I'll take some with us.
I'm taking you.
You're coming with?
Yeah. I'm gonna come with you guys, and probably by the time we're back, that I think the leaves will be dry.
Oh, okay. Okay, we can do that.
And he takes like a big handful and cups them in there and just like does a big inhale. He's like, yeah, they smell almost ready. In fact, I think by the time that we get back to Hyrule in 3 hours, it might be too dry. Yeah, I think it'll be too dry. Yeah.
He's had that entire bottle of Fishki, and it's like 8 o'clock in the morning.
He has his moments.
He does.
So so you take the 3 hour travel back. Among like among taking the road, you run into a number of kind of like traveling merchants, wagons, people just kind of like going about their daily day, and I will say that every single one of them not only waves but also says hello to Andy by name, and he remembers every single one of their names too. And
That's sweet.
it's just like it's a very like sweet moment, and
Aw.
yeah. So it just keeps like walking, and he's like, yeah, every like you'll pass by like a bar, and he'll be like, yeah, that's old man Petey over there. He likes to grow some apples, and like he just knows like complete info dumps on the whole point.
That's awesome.
Back to back to our castle. Even comments on Robbie's lab. It's like way up on the hill,
Nice.
but he's like, yeah, that's Robbie's lab. He's a real smart guy, and yeah, he works a lot up there.
Oh, Mandy, maybe he'd have some jobs for you someday. He's a really nice guy.
I don't know. I heard like Frankenstein stuff goes on up there.
Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of busy anyway. I got my thralling work to do. Keeps me pretty busy. So
That's fair.
Yeah.
I keep those people, accountable and stuff.
Exactly, and I can't be just thralling for everyone around town because that's how people talk. Yeah, I don't want people thinking I'll just thrall for any bit of anything. Like,
your leg's looking great, Andy. You really got a nice presence when you walk.
I think I feel a lot better. I feel, it's I mean, life has ups and downs, but this is an upswing.
Okay.
We're on an upswing.
Nice. Good to hear it, Andy.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, Anyway, guys, do you have anything? So we should probably go back to Trixie, like, probably pretty quickly, I guess. Do you guys like? I don't know. Did you have anything you wanted to do to like prepare before we maybe go try that again, or like anything like that? I don't really know what you guys' ideas are, so I figured we'd just like talk to Trixie, like you were saying, Stuffin.
Yeah, I'm good to go straight back.
Yeah,
Okay.
that'll work.
Cool. Sounds good. Just because I wasn't sure. So yeah, I guess once we get to the gates, we'll like part ways with Andy. I'll have unless he wants to accompany us to Kakariko, I guess.
No, I got my dark brooding corner.
That's fair. It suits you well, Andy. Suits you well.
and he like throws on a slightly hat with like slightly too big of a brim, and like runs his hand across it, like
Nice.
and then he proceeds to go into the Hyrulean.
Nice. Hell yeah. I imagine he's just got like the all black clothes to hide the stains when he gets the food on it. Yeah.
Exactly. Good old Andy. All right, so okay, so so he goes into the Hyrule Castle Town Inn, or the Hyrulean, and what do you guys do?
Yeah. So do you guys I guess if we're heading to back to Trixie, I can
Trixie.
teleport us there. Yeah. So I can teleport us there.
Okay.
I'll
Where was Trixie again?
take out the
Was she in the
What?
temple still?
Yeah, she was in the temple still.
Okay,
She gave us a little trinket to teleport to her with.
gotcha. All right. Okay, so there is there is still parts that are unexplored, so this is not too viewable. So I'll switch over to here for now.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah, we'll just look at this for now.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Thank you. All right. So okay. So you're in the temple. You are with Kiwiko and Trixie.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, it's not that far away, but it's unreachable by them.
Hey, Trixie. Kimiko. We have some good news and bad news to share with you, and some decisions we need to talk about together. But I'm gonna try to keep it simple. There's good news and there's bad news, and then there's also more bad news, but then also complicating news and news that we don't really even understand because someone's trying to put us under contract, and we don't really fully understand the terms of the contract and how that would affect you and Kiwiko and Saria, Saria's heart, and perhaps other body parts as well. Uh, I think I'm looking at you, and you seem confused. Uh, why doesn't Deacon and Gully explain a little bit more about this?
Okay. Hmm.
Well,
I
I would also like to point out before we go any further that when you were speaking with Trixie, it was through a telepathic link. Like,
Just now?
in it, like when you had previously spoken to, Trixie, that was when you and Deacon had established like a mental link. But yeah, so right now you're saying these things to Kiwiko, but
yeah, can I establish that link like before he talks so I can like see what she's thinking if she wants to communicate with me? I figure that would be one of the first things I do as I go in. I don't know, or not. I mean, maybe I could just establish it now and see what she has to say.
how was she restrained, by the way? I forgot.
Restrained? She wasn't. She was so she wasn't restrained. She was given a little, demi plane of infinite food, basically, in the Mordenkainen's magnificent mansion.
Okay, all right, that's right.
That
Okay,
sounds nice.
okay. So basically, like while you were dealing with the telepathic link, essentially physically pacified.
Essentially, yeah, that was the idea.
Okay, I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. So you reestablish the psychic links and find yourselves kind of like on establishing a mental link, kind of like Stranger Things style.
Yeah. Good old aberrant mind, love it.
Yeah. All right. So, okay. So Stefan says that. And so she's like, well, how about just the good news?
All right. So I think the good news is we found some potential to maybe help you get back to who you were before. Is that not what you wanted me to say? Is it not?
Okay, keep talking, Deacon. But remember, we want her to not just be what she was before, but even better, right?
Yes.
Better.
But
Yes.
yes. So I'll just continue. Like, I don't know. I just figure I'll be honest with her after a certain point, like, because I got nothing else. So I'm gonna say, but the thing is, it's not something that we can do alone. There are like a lot of people that have to be made happy before this is a possibility. It's not something we can do very easily or potentially. Okay, I guess when I say we could do it, it's a theoretical, but why? That means there is something out there that can fix this, and we are interested in trying to help you at some point, but there are certain things that have like
Gotta grease the wheels, baby.
Yes. We're in this very unfortunate situation, you see.
She looks thoroughly confused.
You can size.
Hey, Gully, why don't you give it a shot? You have a very optimistic attitude.
Yeah. No, we'll let these keep on rolling.
That's fair. Sorry. We'll let him cook with. I'll do my best. Anyway,
I like the greasing the wheels. That was a nice metaphor.
It was. So, what I'm trying to say is, actually, you know what? So, I'm gonna use one of my sorcery points to subtle spell glibness on myself.
All right.
Anyway, there we go. So anyway,
are you a dual class?
So I have the metamagic adept feat, and I have one level of sorcery.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So it's like I have basically 2 sorcery points a day that I can use towards like metamagic on any spell that I cast.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, it's a fun feat. I picked one of them was just subtle spells, so I could do what I just did basically. And anyway, yeah, so just doing that. Anyway, I look at her and I say, we need something that we were hoping you could help us with first, as part of this is a thing that takes a lot of energy. It's not dissimilar to it's sorry, I guess I wasn't prepared for this. So I'm just trying to be as forthcoming with you as possible. I didn't expect to get this far. Anyway, I guess what I'm trying to say, okay, if I can explain it a little bit better, is that
The session ends with Deacon deep in thought as to how he will perceive the next steps of this conversation.
Yeah, basically. Sorry, guys. I apologize. I'm doing my best, but it is not very good.
No, you're good, man.
You're doing great.
Thanks. So, okay. I know that you have gone through a lot, but what we really need is to get Kiwiko detached from Sarga's heart. That is very important to us, and it's something that we need to happen, preferably before we progress any steps further with this process, or at least sometime soon, because unfortunately, with everything that's coming into play, there are certain dangers that could posit themselves, like for example, we don't really know what all that like sage juice would necessarily do, what it might have already done, for example, in terms of potentially, even an overload or something. And this is Deacon trying to embellish slightly. Like, I know that is not anything that was said, but I'm trying to be persuasive. Okay.
Mhm.
Just throw that out there. Okay, right. So, as he continues, he says, so if we could get help with that, it would make everything else move a little more quickly. But I understand that that probably would be quite a conversation between the two of you. However, if sorry, if we can get this, it gives us a lot more potential options for everything that can be done to help you. Does that make any sense? Like, she's kind of like binding you here, unfortunately. From what we can tell. And unfortunately, even if we could find a way to, get an amicable divorce here, we basically need this chain to be lifted in the first place. Does that make any sense? It's kind of like an anchor on a ship. If ships exist in Hyrule.
Ships do. And Kyoko looks at you and rasps out 2 words in a question form, and she says, "New phylactery."
That's interesting. Could you excuse me to talk with my companions for a second? Because I think that's a very interesting quandary.
I'm not
But,
going nowhere.
thanks.
Oh, huddle up time.
Yeah, okay,
Huddle
huddle up. Alright, sorry, I'm floundering out there. Holy shit, guys. This is rough. I don't even know what to say. Oh, man, that was,
So she's saying no phylactery as in question mark? No phylactery?
So, she's saying new, I think.
Yeah.
I think she wanted to make a new one. Which, okay, maybe I'm not thinking right here. So
Wait, are you thinking of offering yourself up as her phylactery?
No.
Oh, I was gonna say that was like a really noble thing to do if you were gonna do it.
I
Extremely.
honestly, yeah. See, the thing is, not the worst option. To be honest, I was going to say it could be a potential like 2 birds, 1 stone. If instead of like, she's enjoying like sage juice right now. What if we gave her super evil witch juice? Translation, what if we hooked her up to Katagi instead?
Interesting.
This way we have a card of like, yeah, like almost like a leash. Like if we so hear me out, right? Kiwiko here just wants to eat things. It has been officially said by our DM that you can feed her with spell slots. Potentially. So, we hook her up to like, wait, that just puts us in the situation we're in before. I'm an asshole. The fuck? But like, the thing is, I don't know. It's just like, I'm really like, I thought the idea was like, I need to find a way to like find out if Katagi is going to be evil still. I think there's like a nature nurture thing.
Why don't we ask her? Or we could get her to like make an agreement. Or we could get like some kind of magic ring that she'd be like willing to wear,
Mhm.
so that if she turned evil, we could imprison her in the safer again or something like that.
I'm with that. Yeah, because honestly, I would like to separate them, and huh.
We could call it a finger bracelet.
Mm-hmm. I you know, huh. Yeah, I actually like that a lot. Like I don't know.
We have a safe already that's like ready for storage
True.
too.
That's true. Yeah. So, huh. Yeah, okay. So like I think that I don't know. It's like I both want to believe but also like I'm just very paranoid when it comes to like giving Katagi the benefit of the doubt. So I really want to believe that this could work out like one of my anime shonens where you beat them and now they are your friend. But I don't know that that's what's gonna happen, and makes me worried. But at the same time, I think that's kind of what Deku would realistically want to do. Like, I think if we separate them, like, I guess does a phylactery like have to be another person? Like, couldn't we just give her like a phylactery that's again like I don't know like the bottle of ever flowing coffee or whatever?
Well, so in the books that have come across Stuffin's viewing in the library, we talked about various ways that things could be used to create phylacteries.
Mm-hmm.
One of which is extreme emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Which is probably the easiest way in this particular
Yeah.
situation, because other than that, you would need to know things about like their past that there's no definitive way.
Yeah, understandable. Gotcha. Okay. I don't know how that would happen. Can it be any sufficient emotion, or does it have to be like a miserable one?
It just needs to be powerful. I mean, think about the link between Bella and Aturbe. That was not a negative emotion.
That's true. So if you have the emotion, it binds you as the phylactery. Is that how that works?
That is.
Or can you like?
No. Basically, would have to. It's if you're going to go the emotional route, you need to find something that they would have an emotional attachment to. Essentially, anchoring them, causing a reason for them to want to stay and repeat what needs to be repeated until it's done right.
Okay, I gotcha. That's interesting. Almost like a Revenant type situation.
Yeah.
Kind of fun.
So like, taking it all the way back to even Darunia, being that his phylactery was his sage ocarina. And so it wasn't until somebody came along that could use his sage ocarina did he feel comfortable enough to no longer need that phylactery situation.
This, honestly, I mean, this just makes Deku feel even more like he wants to give Katagi a chance. I don't know. Gully, what do you think about that? Do you have like a ethical perspective on this that I'm missing? I feel like I'm just paranoiaing myself in a circle with like no actual resolution.
Yeah. I mean, do you really do anything? The witch has given us a way to get her free, right?
Yeah. You have to bring in her sister's essence, basically. So it's like, if we want to free Katagi, we basically have to kill the sister who betrayed her, which is no small ask, I'm sure.
Yeah, she betrayed her. Let's kill the bitch.
Yeah. I mean, I'm kind of game for that, right? Like, that's kind of how I feel. I hope that's how she feels too. But like, yeah, I don't know.
I mean, they say blood is thicker than water, but sometimes you just gotta rip the Band-Aid off,
I feel
cut it
that.
off,
I feel that.
get rid of
I
it.
think you're right. I think that's what we got to do. I just, and maybe, yeah. I mean, maybe if we can like revive Katagi. That'll be like a good positive emotion sort of thing. And like I'd have to. I'm trying to figure out what we could give to Kiwiko to like, once the new one is or like for like a new one, if she needs it. I don't know. I feel kind of bad. Like, I don't know.
Meh.
What do you think? Do you think we should just like separate and not worry about that? Like, kind of. I don't know. The only thing is like the only thing after that I really understand would be like pulling the wool down. I don't really know. Like what's your take on Kiwiko's situation? Like I said, the only reason I want to get rid of her current phylactery is to save Saria, but that might just not be possible.
Betrayal is betrayal.
I feel you.
I say we knock off the sister.
Okay, I feel you. No, I agree with that. I think that's a good course of action. But I was just okay. Yeah, that I think that's what we need to do. I think yeah, I'm with this. But yeah, as far as so that's for Katagi, the girl who's like got the 0 essence. So yeah, just, let's see. Oh, yeah, yeah, I guess this might be weird. Can I roll like some kind of insight check on Kiwiko? See like if I can think of anything that might like make her suitably happy. I don't know if that's too specific or not. I wasn't sure if that's the thing a roll would do. Maybe I'm just not that wise.
You know what?
It's no big deal.
I'll give you a choice of insight or arcana, since we are technically dealing with a supernatural being in Kiwiko.
That's true. Okay. Huh. Yeah, that would be kind of nice. I guess I'll try the arcana. Give me 1 sec. Yeah, my insight is significantly better. Oh, wait, no, it's not. Cool, arcana it is. Wow. Yeah, I got nothing, buddy. I got nothing.
Yeah, there's not much I could get you with a 2.
Fair, honestly.
But I will say that you do recall a good idea being said from Stefan earlier, that the library may have some additional information.
True. I guess that's really where it goes. Yeah, I guess we'll have to do that. Yeah. So yeah, Gully. It looks like we might be headed back to Gerudo Fortress. This is gonna be spicy. Have you been there in the past? Or have we been there much?
No, I have not.
Okay. Okay. This will be interesting.
All right. So, what do we got going on?
Well, I kind of want to wait for Stuffin before I go back into the dialogue with Kiwiko and Katagi. If that's okay.
Absolutely.
Hey, I'll be back in 1 sec.
Yep. So, if you guys haven't been checking in on our chat sessions, what we have been doing during our chat sessions is we have been playing Elder Scrolls 2 Daggerfall. We've been doing it for like 2 sessions now, and quite honestly, I'm having a lot of fun doing it. So, yeah, basically, if you have never played Elder Scrolls 2, do it. Absolutely do it. There is a community that updates it, and I forget that. So what you can do is you can get it for free off of Steam. And hold on, I'm gonna get the name for it. Daggerfall Unity. There we go. So, the Daggerfall Unity is a community that updates the game while keeping it still as much to its original story and stuff as possible. So what we did is, because Daggerfall has such an expansive character creation, we built Link in the realm of Daggerfall, and during our chat sessions, we have been running it that way. We designed proficiencies and reputations all along the lines of, what we think Link would do. In fact, we made our first mistake that we're going to try to correct, which was Link is not a magic user. He is a magical artifact user. And one of the things that I wanted Link to have is I wanted him to be part of a guild or organization that can create your own magical items, so we could recreate the items from, various Legend of Zelda games inside Daggerfall. But there's only 2 organizations in the game that have the ability to make magical items, one of which is the Mages Guild, and we couldn't join that because in order to join the Mages Guild, you need to have at least one major magic proficiency, which did not fit into Link's build. And then the other was, I think, the Temple of Julianos. I don't know, something.
Sorry about that.
Welcome back. And yeah, so now we had joined the Temple of Mara, which is like the mother goddess in Daggerfall. So we're going to have to break away from that temple and rejoin the other temple so we can make some magic items. So we'll be continuing that next week, but nonetheless, back to the campaign at hand.
Thank you.
Hello, I just stepped back in.
Hey, welcome back.
Perfect
I thought we're
timing.
making like magic items. Okay.
What'd you say?
Give me a brief synopsis for making magic items.
Oh, I was talking about
He's talking about Daggerfall.
The Dagger, yeah, because on the alternate weeks we play Daggerfall on the broadcast.
Oh, okay. All right, that makes sense.
Yeah. So okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
We I figured it would be best if we just kind of waited for you rather than like have me stammer and stumble for like 10 minutes accomplishing on anything.
Oh, okay. That's fine.
Yeah. So but yeah. I was talking with Gully about it. I think we should kind of get the sister who betrayed her and like go after her. I feel like we might be, I don't know. I feel like I kind of want to take the bargain, unfortunately, of like bringing in the sister. But I don't know. Like, that's just what I'm thinking so far, because like, I don't know what's gonna make Kiwiko, the Wendigo spirit, like happy enough to like make a new phylactery that's not Saria's heart. So I am to a certain extent probably like grasping at straws or something. So.
Yeah, I'm not against that, but
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I'm not as smart as Stefan. I'm trying to wrap my head around like all these moving parts.
I feel you, man. I feel you. Basically,
And
Kiwiko. Oh, sorry.
yeah, like I would be. So I like that. I want to. If we take the deal though to find Kome, like I want to try to get Katagi to in some way agree to like be a better person. I don't
I
know how
agree.
to.
I agree. I don't know how to do that when she like doesn't have memories of who she was and like how we could hold her to this. I guess
Yeah.
I'm not sure if like we could bind her to some kind of contract with the witch or something. But I don't know. That's
Well,
just
that's
sketchy
I
by
don't want to
itself
do.
because that's a new can of
Yeah.
worms that we don't need to open. So
Ooh,
I'm just saying, like, it's the only thing I could think of.
Trick her into the witch.
We can't trick Trixie. That doesn't work.
Yeah, nah.
You can't trick
Fuck.
Trixie.
Stop offering up evil deals to us. That's not what we want.
Never.
And you're trying to like coat it with chocolate sauce to make it sound like it's not evil, but it's still evil. It's still
Yeah.
luring Hansel and Gretel into the house.
No, that's true.
Yes. Will not deny that.
I am Hansel and Gretel. I'm both of them.
Oh man. All right. So, I mean,
Do you want me to talk to her? Like,
yeah.
I'm all in favor of honesty, and I think you
I
said
agree.
that too.
Yeah, I think that's our best bet. Like, I think realistically, I don't know how to put it concisely because my head's spinning so much,
I can give it a shot.
Thanks, Stefan.
I'm so charming.
Hell yeah. Can I give you an inspiration?
Sure. Hey there. Trixie, how are you? How are you adjusting to your new name? Do you like it?
Well, I guess it suits me as good as any.
Do you have like a name that in your heart feels like the right name? Is there a better name?
I mean, I guess it's more about building yourself with a name rather than trying to find something that may or may not be there.
Well, what if I told you we found out what your previous name was? I was gonna say your real name, but I don't think that's right. We found out what your previous name was, but I don't think it suits you anymore because you're a different person than you were back then, and quite honestly,
Can I chime in?
you weren't such a great person. Yes.
And it seems like, despite all your attempts and I gesture kind of like at her mouth, by all gesture, you did something that indicates you want to be a better person. Sorry, I was just trying to help you out. Maybe
Okay,
give you advantage
but before we get further into conversation, I do need to point this out. So, so Trixie has no idea of what her real name is. She has no idea of what her past life was. She has
Correct.
no idea that she's not even really a child. However, if she learns her old name, those memories come back to her.
Okay.
Yeah. So, we don't want to tell you your name yet, because I think at this point I mean, honestly, we're a little nervous because we cherish you and we think that you're like the most awesome person we've met in a very long time, and uh, we want to see you be super successful and
We do not.
healthy.
We
Um,
want to see you get to live. Nobody deserves
but
this.
have you ever heard of the word addiction?
Yes.
Yeah, so like some people get addicted to like smoking pipes and stuff like that, and they want to give it up, but they can't give it up, and it's bad for them. And um, your sort of old personality had almost some bad, unhealthy addictions. Um, and if you learn too much about your old self, like you're gonna go back to doing that probably, and it's gonna involve hurting people and probably lying and betraying people. And I mean, is that the kind of person you want to be?
I mean, I feel like I'm supposed to say no.
Nah, there's nothing
But
supposed to. Just tell us what's in your heart. Like, what do you feel like as a person in your heart?
I don't know. I mean, sometimes I, I, I could understand how it could be fun to do bad things sometimes, but that doesn't make me a bad person. That's just, I mean, like I know I've done like like really bad things, but I had to.
Well,
I couldn't live if I didn't, and well, that didn't work out too good for me either. So
mhm.
I mean, all I'm saying is if choice A is no good for me, and choice B is no good for me, but in a different way, then maybe I just got to make my own choice C.
Well, I think the important thing is you want to make your own choices, right?
Yeah. And I mean, you said I was strong. I don't feel strong. I mean, I feel hungry, but I don't feel strong right now. But yeah, I could hear it
Okay,
in your
so
voice.
here, I got a sandwich. He pulls the sandwich out. Hopefully that can help your hunger. It's a it's a 3 bean sandwich with roast beef on it. Um, here, try it.
I I I ate it. I ate it.
Okay, good. um, so I think what we want to do, if you are willing to do this, is we want to take steps to ensure that you can regain your freedom of choice. There's quite honestly someone who might be kind of nasty that wants to like take control of you and basically be her slave, and that doesn't seem like a cool option to any of us. Um, Now, if we do this though, it's going to require some danger on our part. We're going to have to hunt down someone that's a pretty bad person, someone from your past that you won't know now, but eventually you might realize that you know, and we need to bring them to justice. And all of this can eventually, hopefully, let you be free. Does that seem like a good option for you?
I mean, I don't know if I completely understand how I'd be free. I mean, I'm pretty free right now. I could do what I want.
Um, well, as I said, there's this pretty bad person that is going to basically make you a slave, an indentured servant. So you're free-ish, kind of now, but you'll be more free and long-term free if you're willing to go along with us.
So you're telling me that if I hang out with you and I don't do a whole lot of bad things, and you'll make sure that I'm fed.
We're going to do our very, very best to make sure that you are healthy and that you're fed with the special sauce that you need to be fed with, and that you can be back to being a regular person, sort of. There is one more provision, quid pro quo. We do stuff for you, and you do stuff for us, and that's pretty simple. It would just mean you would probably need to wear a piece of jewelry sort of permanently, so we always can kind of like find you again if we need to, just to make sure like nothing goes wrong and those old addictions that your old person had like don't jump back and you don't start doing like really evil stuff. Do you think you would be willing to wear maybe like a ring or a necklace, sort of indefinitely, in order to have all these other freedoms?
I mean that. I'm gonna be honest. That doesn't sound like freedom. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
I know that. I
mean,
believe me,
I don't know if you're. I mean, what if you just want to? What if you do something to me with it that I don't know about?
yeah, I get it. I totally
My
get it.
helpfulness
But
is
here's the
draining
thing.
rapidly by the second.
Your old self was like a really, really bad person. And there's probably a lot of people that would want to throw you in jail for things that your old self did, even though you don't remember any of them. Or worse. Or like a lot worse. So we're just trying to think of some way so that we can let you free and, like not have to, I don't know, send you to prison or send you for like judgment based on things that your old self did. That's why I'm doing it. Feeling a little icky about it. But honestly, like, for years and years, I lived in like this one pond as a fairy, and like I didn't get to leave. Well, as a fountain, really. I didn't get to leave, and I know it kind of sucks, but like, I don't know. Sometimes you got to do stuff for the greater good, and this would be like one of those things for the greater good to help like everyone else that we care about feel safe and trust that we are doing everything to make sure that you are safe and a good person.
Well, see, this kind of this kind of reminds me of a story that I remember from a real long time ago. Yeah, where like there was this guy. His name was Sluey, and he liked to just go around everywhere on his belly. He'd get a big running start, and he'd just run on his belly, and he would slide, and he's tell us he's like, one day I'm gonna open up my own water park, and everything's gonna be great, and and if we're still friends, you could come work in the park.
Am I having a stroke?
Yeah.
Yeah, just like that. It's definitely I understand what you're saying.
No, see, I don't think you do, because see, what happened was, like, he didn't know what he was doing, and things got really dangerous, and all of a sudden, like, people at the job started getting hurt because, the guy who was supposed to be in charge wasn't doing what he should be doing, and it put people in danger. So I was like, me and my buddy Sluey, by the end of the summer, it was just, us two, and, we were on the Sluey side squad, and, just by the end of it, just, there were so many people hurt, and that's all I'm saying is, like, I don't really know you, but I'm trusting my well-being to you by trying to get collared like I'm some kind of dog.
I thought you didn't have memories. I'm really confused. I remember Slooey in the water park.
Well, that's because I just made it up and I used that bit as a segue. It makes me feel like there was stuff from before, but yeah, I just made it up. I really don't have a friend named Slooey. I don't have any friends. Are you happy now? You made me say that I don't have friends.
You do have friends. We're your friends. And sometimes friends have to tell other friends hard truths. And this is your hard truth. We want to help you. It's very hard. It's very dangerous. And if we don't help you, you're going to end up in a very bad place. And if we do help you, you might not end up in a bad place. You might end up in a really good place. But we can't do it unless we have some kind of assurance that you're not going to become evil afterwards. That's the hard truth.
And you know what? Something in that moment clicks. Visually clicks.
I thought you were going to say, like, someone's drawing back
the
pistol. Loading a pistol.
Yeah. Around chambers. It's that kind of D&D, bitch. But, yeah, give me a persuasion check. And by the way, this persuasion check is happening after everything that I just said. What we got?
Well, to put it in perspective, I have a +0 to persuasion.
All right, so we know you didn't roll a 0.
I got a nat 15.
Nice. So, all right.
Inspiration? I didn't get an answer.
Oh, yeah, plus inspiration.
Yeah. D12?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That would be a 19 total.
Okay, 19. So,
can I add a cookie to this?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Right. I want to get at least over. Oh, that's a 4. So 23 total.
23. All right. So you notice that they were attempting to hide their realization to what they just realized by making it like seem part of the conversation, but you recognize that the change of behavior came afterwards. And so you kind of like mull over what you think could have happened, and then you realized the phylactery. It doesn't matter if you blow him up. It doesn't matter if you make them wear a necklace or a bracelet or a ring. As long as he is holding the phylactery, he has the ability to simply respawn. So Kiwiko goes, yeah, absolutely. What did you say you had in mind? Like a really nice necklace?
Yeah, or a ring.
I like necklaces.
I think then it's an agreement that we're going to do this for you. There's more to be done, obviously. So much that my mind is twisted around in knots. Gully or Deacon, would you like to add anything to this conversation?
Puck, has she ever demonstrated any capability to read minds?
Good question.
She has demonstrated that there is, at least prior to the battle, that there was a type of neurological link between, within Kiwiko and Saria and Trixie. But she has not given any type of indication that it goes beyond that.
Okay. So I'd like to link exclusively to my companion. What I'd like to say, the only thing I can think to say, Saria, more like sorry about your luck. I don't feel okay with this. I think we gotta let Rico down. I am not willing to make this Faustian bargain.
I mean, theoretically, if you do nothing, Saria's still fine.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean to leave her in here forever? That's fucked up.
No, I'm saying like she's in fact no longer the Forest Temple Sage. The temple has technically been cleared. The Sage has been separated from the corruption, and although that corruption still technically, is linked to her heart as a phylactery, as long as he does not meet any type of premature demise at any point, there's really no worry that I could think of about having him simply just not die. Like we have Kiwiko and we have Trixie, and they are in servitude to the Fokka Witch, as well as other things that we're learning about that particular situation. But yeah, she could just as easily disappear and go back into servitude.
So we tell.
What was that?
If we say to Trixie that we're going to help her,
Mm-hmm.
and we do, but we don't put forth all this effort, and we tell the Fokka Witch that we're looking into it, but we're not going to sign the contract, and we think we can work out the details. We might be able to just kind of punt this all down the road until there's a time when we can figure out if there's a way to remove the phylactery or create a new phylactery or whatever.
Yeah,
because I think that is core to the argument. What does it, unless we can get this phylactery out of there, helping isn't going to help.
Correct. Yeah, I'm finding that out the hard way.
But that doesn't mean we don't want to help.
Right.
So we could just deal with other stuff and try to look into how to create a new phylactery, or I don't know, how to transfer your phylactery in 3 easy steps.
These are books you would know where to find.
That's true, yeah. You got the library that you know about, so. Yeah, I think you're right. I think there's just nothing we could do about this.
So my inclination is to tell Trixie that we're going to do our best to help her, and that we're going to do our best to make sure she isn't called into servitude for a while we're doing this. That we give Andy a note for the witch to say we're looking into it, but until we figure out a few details, we're not going to sign the contract. But we're still trying to help, and are optimistic that we will find a solution. We can look into the phylactery, and if we can't ever figure out the phylactery, then this is a simmering issue that eventually will come back to bite us in the ass. But
true.
It was going to anyway, so.
Yeah, true. I'm gonna level with you. I was so tempted to be like, she's got to go.
Trixie?
Yes, sorry. I'm, or at least the Wendigo part. I don't know. I guess I'm I am now. I don't know. I feel like I was almost ready to throw in the towel.
The other option is that we do a bunch of investigating, and if we can't do anything, we tell Trixie that, and we tell her true name, and see what happens.
True. Ooh, I feel like that's. Yeah.
Well, then you don't feel guilty about killing a little girl.
That's true.
Right?
That's true. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. She'll be theoretically weakened a little bit, so by the betrayal of her sister. So,
Well, she should be seriously weakened because
oh,
like most of her essence has been drained,
well.
or all of it.
I almost feel like. Wait, what?
I do I do feel the need to point out that from my perception, what you essentially just said is, we have this girl and we want to make sure that she doesn't suffer in life. So if it comes to the point that we're going to have to end her suffering, first we're going to tell her about her entire shitty ass life, so then she could be messed up in the head too when we put her down.
That's one way to put it, but that's not what I was thinking. No, mine was saying we tell her the truth and then see how she reacts when she realizes that she's an evil witch. And if she acts evil, then you put her
she's
down.
already acting evil. I no longer believe
Is a
in the
little bit, isn't
remorse
she?
theory. Like, that's what I'm
She's
saying.
definitely
Like,
acting.
when I said sorry about your luck, I was like, if we weren't on Twitch, my next words would have been, I stabbed them both. But,
Oh yeah.
No, but like, murder hoboing aside, like, I just don't believe in my fairy tale anymore. Like, she's ruined the illusion for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But I get what you're saying. It's better to, like, figure it out and then, like, go from there, I guess. Like, yeah. At least, like, give it a chance, I guess. But, so, if I'm honest, though, I feel like we still need to go after her sister before we take her on. Because, like, what if her sister unbetrays her when she gets her name back?
That's possible.
We
We definitely
like,
need to go. Well, I wouldn't trust her sister unbetray her without betraying her again or something.
I mean, true. Well, like, at the same time, it's like they might just be like, "Oh, hey, we're both here now. Let's fuck these protagonists. I'm sorry. Let's fuck these player characters up." And like, you know, be like, and then we'll go back to stabbing each other in the back repeatedly once they're all dead.
I love how fucking crazy this is getting. Oh, man.
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Yeah. All right. So let's see. I think with that being said, we are on the precipice of putting together a solid plan for what to do.
Are we? Are we?
I
No,
think
I'm sorry.
so.
Yeah, I think we are.
I'm sorry. I just say that as a joke. I'm sorry.
Yes. I mean, if you know, if there's anything that I know, it's that you guys will come up with an amazing plan on what to do with this moving forward. God damn, my beard's getting big.
Ara.
Yeah, I feel like I gotta cut that back. I don't. This is the only time I see myself. I don't ever look in a mirror or anything like that. So.
I feel
that. But yes, so we do have some nice things in the works. We have learned more about the situation. We have learned the identity of Trixie. We have now under the assumption there is some type of political turmoil going on at the Gerudo Fortress. Yeah, this is I think outside of our holiday episode, I think that this is really the first time that we've had any type of like actual substance tying anything in the campaign to the Gerudo Fortress. So, yeah. But there's still lots of other things to explore. There's that. There's Rito Village. We can have more interactions with the Fokka Witch. We are still have a number of side quests that are running out there, including, but not limited to, what happened to Suga in the Water Temple. And where the hell and who the hell are the Golden Yiga or Giga? I may be speaking a little bit prematurely. I do believe we have Leto back next week. If not, relatively soon. If I misspoke, I apologize. But yeah, I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight. It is starting to storm pretty loudly out there, so I'm going to not push my luck. But yeah, so I'll see you guys next week when we will be doing the third episode of The Legend of Zelda Isekai in Daggerfall, where we're going to see repeatedly how many times I can die by these giants that took me hours to find. And just repeatedly go down, I'm not going to say any more than that. But yes, so we are
We'll die eventually if we throw enough corpses at them.
Exactly. I'm going to break both those Malachites with fireballs, just spamming the fireballs again. But yes, tune in next week for that, and in 2 weeks for our next episode. So once again, thank you everyone for joining us. Deacon, Gully, Stefan, thank you for being a part of it. It is always
thanks, guys.
Yes, appreciated and welcomed, and you guys are phenomenal. And we'll see you next time. So until then, bye.
Bye.
Bye.